Deadpool, last week you had a pretty advanced case of
Being charming, self-aware, a depressingly fitting spokesman for 7-Eleven and alcoholic soft drinks.
breaking the fourth wall.
It's getting really bad. The first draft of Deadpool 3 is 6 hours long. This is how I remind you of what I really am. Nickelback, 2001. Read a book.
Mr. Underwood, any falling off the wagon this week?
No. The State of the Union is strong. Chloe means well, but her credentials are underwhelming. Son of a bitch, I gotta run.
Mr. Robot.
She doesn't even know my name. Can you blame her? Names are a bullshit construct.
There's a fourth wall on the ceiling? There's a fifth wall?
Jim.
Who can you trust? This therapist whose Google Drive is nothing but suicide note drafts and hentai? Do you trust the workplace bully who will one day cause an autistic beet farmer to move out of state? No. Trust no one. Society. I had a nice week, Chloe.
I don't even know what hentai is, so, Jim?
Truth is, if you break the fourth wall long enough, eventually the fourth wall breaks you. Promise you'll donate my brain for research?
Jim,
No! Dibs on Pam.
Oh, hello. I know, right?
This genre is super exciting to me, like an absolute dream, really.
I love working with Sean, obviously. I've worked with him on Stranger Things, and he's just amazing.
I'm really mostly here for Taika. I've been a huge fan of his for a long time, and it's super cool to finally meet him.
Yeah. I mean, ditto for me as well. I've known about Ryan for a long time, and I think we've always been trying to meet up or connect or work together at some point, and to finally get that chance to actually be in the same thing together for the first time ever is actually
cool.
Didn't you
excited.
guys do a movie
for that.
together?
What?
Didn't you guys do a movie together?
Yeah, I think, heard you guys talking about that.
I don't think so.
Not from my memory. No. This is the first time we've met. But that's the cool thing about the industry. It brings people together. We've been mutual admirers of each other for a long time from afar. And now to finally have the chance to work together for the first time ever in both of our lives is, I'm super stoked about that.
Be in the same room.
Green Lantern.
Yeah,
Green Lantern.
What kind of power source Tom using? Do you understand what we could learn from? We can't stay here. What? Gotta go. What? Pilot. He wore a uniform. I think he was a soldier. Give me this. You proposed?
I don't think so. Maybe you're thinking of Jessica Tandy, Kathy Bates, fried green tomatoes.
'Cause I don't remember you guys.
Seth Rogen, Green Hornet.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's where you're getting confused.
He's amazing in that.
But neither of us are Seth Rogen.
I don't. No,
You did Green Lantern,
It was
right?
definitely Green Lantern.
Right?
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. We have a Deadpool 3 Robot Chicken trailer to break down, nice parody, and Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi making so much fun of Green Lantern. I always love Ryan Reynolds making fun of Green Lantern and his other own movies. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs. We'll do an update on what's going on with Deadpool 3 under Marvel Studios now that all the Fox characters are at Marvel. There's some changes made to what the original plans for Deadpool 3 in the next couple of Deadpool movies were going to be. Fox did have a whole big plan because Deadpool was their big A-list character, so of course there were going to be a whole bunch of Deadpool sequels. Marvel isn't completely wiping the slate clean, but it's going to be a little bit different now that they're with Disney. We're doing a giveaway for the new Spider-Man Far From Home Blu-ray. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your best theory about Spider-Man crossing over with Deadpool in the MCU now. If you guys don't remember, a little while ago when Spider-Man got into trouble between Marvel and Disney, Ryan Reynolds himself even started chiming in, joking, because he's sort of in a holding pattern right now. They're going to make Deadpool 3, but they're not going to make it right away, so he's free to make as many jokes about Marvel and Spider-Man stuff that he wants. People asking him, are you ever going to be in a movie with Spider-Man? But now, apparently largely thanks to Tom Holland's efforts based on what everyone's reporting, Spider-Man back in the MCU for another couple of movies. They'll obviously renegotiate for more after that, just making it way easier for Deadpool to actually cross over with Spider-Man in a legit MCU movie. But in the Deadpool trailer, they have Deadpool in fourth wall rehab with a whole bunch of other characters from pop culture that break the fourth wall on their own shows. Jim Halpert from The Office, Kevin Spacey's character, Francis Underwood from House of Cards. The ankle bracelet is just a joke about all the legal problems he's having in real life right now. Then Rami Malek's Mr. Robot character. I don't even know what hentai is. They joke about him trying to finish the Deadpool 3 script. It's 6 hours long, and in trying to get that movie going at Disney, just making it sound like, yeah, obviously Disney's going to take their time getting mutants into the MCU, so that means it's going to take a little bit longer to get Deadpool 3. They make another Nickelback joke, nice double tap to the Nickelback jokes during Once Upon a Deadpool.
We are Marvel. Yeah, but you're, Marvel licensed by Fox. It's like if the Beatles were produced by Nickelback. It's music, but it sucks.
Then Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi taking a whole bunch of rips on Green Lantern. So if you guys didn't remember, obviously everybody knows Ryan Reynolds was in Green Lantern because everybody always makes fun of Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. But Taika Waititi was also featured pretty heavily during that movie. A lot of people forget that he's been an actor for a while now. It's just that he blew up so big with Thor Ragnarok that people have been thinking mostly about that stuff. Yes, he plays Korg, but that's motion capture, so you don't really see his face like you would see it in a lot of his other big movies that he's done. Fun fact, side note too, when there was talk about crossing Deadpool over before the Fox-Disney deal, Taika even said that he'd love to do a crossover movie with Thor and Deadpool. But big status update on what's going on with Deadpool 3 at Disney and Marvel Studios. So there is still a Deadpool 3, it's still happening. The Disney CEO and Kevin Feige have said many times through this whole process that they're not going to mess with Ryan Reynolds' version of the character. He is going to be one of the few things to survive intact the transition between universes. A little while ago, when Kevin Feige released his statement about them signing the deal to bring Spider-Man back into the MCU, he talked about Spider-Man being one of the few characters that can jump between cinematic universes, referring to him jumping between the Venomverse at Sony because he'd be crossing over with those movies and the MCU movies. Deadpool is also going to be one of those characters, so a lot of the X-Men characters will just be straight up reboots, and because of the way the character is written and his ability to be so meta and break the fourth wall, he's the way that you bring all that pre-existing X-Men Fox canon like Hugh Jackman Wolverine into the MCU without actually having to have Hugh Jackman himself on screen. But a lot of people point out the fact that Disney is not going to release a rated R movie under the Disney label. That's why Kevin Feige will most likely wind up releasing Deadpool 3 through Fox. Before the big Fox-Disney buyout, the original plan, because Deadpool was such a big money earner for them, was to do a legit Deadpool X-Force movie next after Deadpool 2, then do Deadpool 3 as a completely separate movie. Drew Goddard, who's the person responsible for Daredevil on Netflix, he was originally going to do Sony's Sinister Six franchise during the Andrew Garfield era. He was going to be Fox's architect of the bigger Deadpool X-Force team-up franchise movies. They were supposed to be the R-rated, hardcore versions of your traditional X-Men classic character team-ups. In fact, a lot of it would have felt similar to the first part of Deadpool 2 where he actually assembles the team, but then you have to imagine that they actually treat the team-up seriously instead of killing off the whole team after 5 minutes. A year or two after that movie, they would have released Deadpool 3, and that would have been him returning to a much smaller film with a lower budget, fewer characters, and that's probably what the new Marvel Studios Deadpool 3 will be. Like the Joker movie, very small, exists in its own little bubble outside the regular DC movie continuity, Justice League, Wonder Woman 1984, Deadpool solo movies are going to be a little bit like that, where they're kind of connected to the MCU. It'll enable them to do it rated R, release it through Fox, and then when they want to actually have Deadpool interacting with the other big Avengers characters in Avengers 5, that'll be PG-13 Deadpool, and there'll just be references to the timeline to give it a loose continuity between the Deadpool solo films and the Deadpool MCU films. That's actually kind of the way that Sony and Marvel are going to handle Spider-Man jumping between the Venom movies and the MCU movies without necessarily having to canonize everything. In terms of actual release date, just look at the Marvel Phase 4 schedule. Right now, the timing looks like they'll drop Deadpool 3 after their Fantastic Four reboot, which right now, early prediction, based on the way Kevin Feige's talking about it, might drop in 2023 at some point. But just don't be surprised if you see Deadpool popping up, doing Deadpool things in other people's movies before he actually gets Deadpool 3. So everybody post all your Deadpool 3 theories in the comments below. Where do you think that Deadpool is going to show up first inside the MCU? We got a whole bunch of new stuff coming up. I'll name a new giveaway winner the next time I post a Marvel video. Everybody click here for the brand new Rick and Morty Season 4 trailer, and click here for my video on the Joker movie ending scene. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.